Hey there, Libra. Welcome to reading for December 2022. We're going to jump right in here, Libra, and we are going to look at your current general energies in this first row. You have this Boar card, and it says confidence on it. You also have the Fool, and the Fool is kind of a card of confidence, of, kind of going for something that you maybe feel like you aren't prepared for, but I feel that you are actually prepared for something. Look, you even have this Let Your Fears Dissolve card. So, this reading is already telling me that you are much more prepared than you think for something, and that it's like probably time for you to get moving towards like a goal, wish, or dream. It could also be like a person as well. Take it how it resonates, whatever you want. But yeah, look, you have the Knight of Pentacles, which is like being too cautious. So I feel for some of you, it's time for you to take control over something like your life, and for you to take some sort of leap of faith. And there are probably people that want to help you with this community card. And sorry, some of these cards are upside down. I don't read reversals. I dropped this deck earlier, so that's why some of the cards are in reverse. This is the Tarot of the Mystical Moments, by the way, if you're wondering what deck this is. But you start off with this Boar card again. It says confidence on it. The Fool is about having confidence, about kind of boldly taking a leap of faith towards something that maybe you want to create in your life. So I feel like you have to get moving, especially with this card here. The Fool, he does have to be cautious, but, there's a lot of ways to read the Fool. Number one, he has his head held high, which says, that he is confident in his journey, but he's also standing at the edge of a cliff. So it says, like, he needs to be careful that he doesn't fall off the cliff. But there's another way to read the Fool, that he is just trusting that the next step is going to appear. So he's trusting that when he takes the risk of, takes the leap of faith, that a step is going to appear. And that's kind of more what I feel for you, is that you want to take a leap of faith, probably towards something you have your eye on with the Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups is about being spoiled for choice, but on this Seven of Cups, you can see that she is, I'm trying to get my hand right. She is focusing on one cup, like one star that's right here. So she's focusing on that one thing that exists. And I feel for some of you that it's saying, there might be some things in your life that you see as important. That, Seven Cups have seven different things in them. But there's one thing that you really want, like your main goal, wish, or dream, or whatever you want to call it. And the Hanged Man tells me that you've been waiting for this for a very long period of time. So there's something that you want. Could be anything. Goal, wish, dream, love, money, whatever. And it's something that you've been thinking about heavily, I feel. With the Fool card, you have the King of Cups. Definitely could be love. So some of you could be taking a leap of faith towards a new person in love. It's crazy to me that everyone has had the King of Cups, and everyone has had the King of Cups in love. I don't necessarily think we're all attracting water signs, by the way. I think what we are attracting is deep connections. So it could be any sign. It's actually showing up as an Aries in your reading. So some of you could be attracting an Aries, but take it how it resonates. And, I feel like you're just attracting deep connections. If you don't want love, I feel like this is an adventure that you're going on, something that you are connected to emotionally. With the Seven of Cups, you have the Ace of Wands. Move towards your desire. Every single person, literally, that I've been reading for has had multiple aces, if this wants to focus. And I would also say that pretty much everyone has had a message of needing to move towards your desires. The problem with the Seven of Cups is that sometimes I think we want something, like we want to start a business, or, we want to get into a relationship, but then we start attaching all these kind of things to it, all these qualifications that we feel like we need, or all these things that we say, when this happens, then I'll go start my business, or, when my kids leave school, or whenever, whatever, blah, 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 right? We come up with all these kind of certain things that we put in place, certain blockages. And I feel like this is saying, no, just go straight for your Ace of Wands, your passionate new beginning, whatever it is. And that's what I feel here. My favorite book of all time, The War of Art, he talks about how frequently those things where we kind of say, oh, I'll start this business when my children graduate, but it's like, if you started the business, it could benefit your children right now. So it's frequently those kind of things that we kind of allow to create resistance in our life are exactly the reason we need to do something. And that's kind of what I'm getting here. I'm not saying it's kids, it could be anything. With the Hangman, you have the Knight of Cups. Could be a water sign coming in for some of you now, but take it how it resonates. I do feel there's a Knight in Shining Armor coming in for you. For others, again, all three air signs had something like the Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups is a dream. Normally, he's looking into that cup. He's kind of dreaming about his future life or something that he wants to create. Next, in the area of what you need to hear right now, you have this full moon in Cancer. It says, let your fears dissolve. Definitely connected to that Fool card. I really feel that Fool card is saying it's time for you to take action. And it's time for you to let go of fears because you're more than prepared. I always say that the Fool, traditionally in a traditional tarot deck, he just has a tiny little sack on his back. And it represents the fact that he has everything he needs right here, right between his two ears. He's like over prepared. He's more than prepared for his long journey. So anything you're thinking about doing or starting, it's like you're more than ready. You have the Emperor, the Two of Pentacles, and the Three of Pentacles here. I would be focusing on quality work at this time. Three of Pentacles is a card of quality work and just doing a good job. It's also a card of teamwork. And at the end, you do have the community card as well. So any of you that are like starting anything, like a business or relationship, whatever, I feel that there are a lot of people who could help you. There's like a lot of support here. I would also be focusing on the icing on the cake, basically. The Three of Pentacles, it's like there's a Three of Pentacles that form a fire triangle, and then below it, there's kind of like an ornate design, and it forms a water triangle right below the fire triangle. The water triangle on the Three of Pentacles represents the icing on the cake. It kind of represents like, doing something just like a little bit more to improve the quality or to make something nicer or better. But it also says that like if you're entering into any new situation, that there could be something more available to you. Like if you're getting a new job, maybe you need to negotiate for more money because there's probably more money available. The other thing is that like if you're working with clients or if you're creating projects, the icing on the cake would totally be worth it because it says it'll probably preserve whatever you're doing. Traditionally, they put icing on cakes to preserve the cake. That's where that comes from. So like literally, I feel some of you, if you're working on anything, if you're trying to preserve a relationship, a business relationship, anything like that, I would be doing the icing on the cake type of stuff because that's where you're probably going to build the best relationships. And you have the Two of Pentacles here, which says, obviously, if someone isn't reciprocating the icing on the cake, then it's time to find people who do. So what that means is like in a relationship, if you're going above and beyond for your partner, but then they don't return the favor, then it's time to find someone who does. In business, if you have clients or people who don't appreciate the extra work you do, then that's your clue. That's your sign to find someone new who does appreciate what you do. And again, in business, by the way, I feel some of you need to raise your prices. Again, it is funny. I was talking to someone about this like a while ago. I had a consultation about YouTube. Someone was consulting for me, and they said, "Hey, did you get what you wanted out of this consultation?" And like I said to them, I said, "Yeah, I'd be happy if I just got one thing out of this." And they said something very interesting. They said, what's funny is that it's like the bigger channels that only want one thing. It's the smaller channels that want like a million things." And again, I'm not making a statement here about like anyone's small channel or anything like that because I'm sure someone's gonna take it there. What I'm saying is, it's like usually the people who like pay the most money as clients that are going to be the easiest clients that just want one thing, that see the value. So I feel someone needs to hear that. I feel like someone out there needs to raise their prices or needs to charge more money for what they're doing. It's like you're going to attract higher quality people, just better clients, stuff like that. There you go. You have this Emperor card. Again, I feel like you're bossing up here. So again, this also is kind of suggesting that it might be a good time to like boss up, to charge more money, to do more stuff, to make more money. Like all that stuff is popping into my head here for you, Libra. So I definitely do that. I do also feel that some of you could be attracting an Aries into your life. I'm not sure how I feel about this person. I feel like this would be a good person, but there's something here. They could just be busy, they could just be a busy person. Maybe you feel like they don't have enough time for you. What's going on here? With the Emperor, you have the Magician. So, number one, if this is a person, I feel like you attracted this person into your life. Number two, I feel like this person wears many hats. So you could literally be attracting a person who does a lot of stuff, and that could be like a little bit of a problem. I don't think it's a huge problem. I think it's only a problem if you make it a problem. But you might have to, again, this might be a person you have to change your life for. So, definitely kind of something you have to think about. I also feel that, again, you could be wearing many hats. I'm trying to get this to focus here. And I feel there could be a lot that you are doing in your life to become more successful And I would just, embrace that energy and get something about learning here as well. Some of you could be like going back to school or getting a certification. If you're doing that, I feel like there's a lot of money in that for you, or it could just increase in what you're making already. With the Two of Pentacles, you have the Hermit here. Everybody's had the Hermit, which is kind of interesting. And, we have like all these retrogrades. The Hermit's gone. He flew away. But, it's interesting, I think, with all these retrogrades and things like that, we could be experiencing a lot of, not like dark night energy, maybe for some people, but more like soul searching, looking for answers, trying to make sense of things. All that's popping into my head. Two of Pentacles, having that clarifying the Two of Pentacles, it's kind of saying to me, maybe you need a break. I think it's perfectly fine to think about things during retrogrades and try to make sense of things. But if like you're just stuck in that energy, I think maybe you need to do some other things as well that let you not think. Like maybe you need to pick up video games, or maybe you need to go do something like, it's like I love working. I have a ton of Capricorn in my chart, but there are times where I just have to go watch a crappy movie or something like that. Like I just have to let my brain rot, right? Just not think about anything. And I definitely feel that for you here, where it's kind of like that whole, all work and no play, right, type of thing. So if you're finding your life getting dull or boring, I think you need to go, get a hobby or do something that you enjoy doing for sure. With the Three of Pentacles, you have the Three of Wands. Love it. Definitely a lot of expansion in co-creating for you. So if you're, creating things with other people, definitely a lot of expansion. If you're raising your prices in your business, definitely expansion. I feel like some of you are reaching like a whole new group of people for sure. So like if you're doing something like that, like raising your prices, if you're just charging prices in the first place, some of you need to charge a price. Like maybe you're doing things for free that you shouldn't be doing for free. Again, I think this comes from like imposter syndrome. And I say this because of the Nine of Swords here. It's like some of us, I think, maybe are afraid of charging money for what we do because we're afraid that we're not good enough or whatever. And I feel like you need to like get rid of those thoughts and charge money for the things that you do. So that's definitely for someone out there. Next, in the area of signs you need to pay attention to. This is a new row. I'm trying something different here. So this could be signs for anything we're going to find out. You have this observation card. I feel like you need to look at some sort of dream that feels a little bit out of reach. I'm not really sure if this is a sign or a symbol. I kind of feel this is more, I think there's a disconnect here is what I would say. Like intuitively, if I put myself in your shoes, which that's how I read, then I would say that you have like a goal, something that you want to achieve, that you observe, you can see it, but it's like the energy isn't matching, So it's like some of you, I feel like you need to like step into the energy of what you want. And I always tell people like mimic success. If you want a certain business, look at the people who have a similar business. It's like, what do they do? Where do they go? What kind of clothes do they wear? Go nuts, right? And we're not talking about copying. We're talking about mimicking. We're talking about matching energy. And it's like, how can you match the energy of something that you want in love, business, or otherwise? You have the Knight of Pentacles, the Nine of Swords, and the Six of Wands. I kind of feel like the Knight of Pentacles is talking about your knowledge. It's like, I would be careful of analysis paralysis in this reading is what I'd say to you here, Libra, especially this month. It's like sometimes I think we set out to do something new and we learn as much as we can, but then we get stuck in the learning. We think that, I have to learn more, I have to learn more, I have to learn more. I feel like this is saying, no, you need to put something into action. You need to prove something to yourself. It's almost like this isn't a sign or a symbol. This right here, I feel like this is you needing to prove something to yourself. So you're giving yourself a sign that you can do something. I feel like it's time to put something into practice or time to try something that you've been thinking about. With the Nine of Swords here, I feel like you need to kind of like pay attention to something that's been repeating over and over and over again. So I kind of get that whole, having a nightmare, waking up, being stuck in a nightmare. So I'd be paying attention to any situations in your life that just seem to be repeating. Again, is that a sign or a symbol? Kind of, but I feel like something needs to come to an end. Could be anything. And it could lead to, there could be a heartbreak here, but I don't really feel that. I mean, I feel if it's a breakup, maybe it's one of those things where you're sad, but maybe it's the right thing to do. So I would pay attention to that. You also have the Six of Wands. Six of Wands is a card of success. It's also a card of jealousy. I feel like if people are jealous of what you're doing, then you're moving in the right direction. I would just ignore it, plain and simple. I'm also getting something that it's like, there could be people who are like almost like happy when you're wrong. It's kind of funny because it reminds me of like this channel. There have been times where I've been wrong. Of course, believe it or not, I'm a human being, right? And it's like there are just some people who I always ban them because it's like I can tell that by the comment they left, they're like, oh my God, yes, he's wrong. I love it, And I always ban those people because those people are not your supporters. Those people are not the people who believe in you when people are happy that you're wrong. But it's like, I can't describe it, but you'll know it when you see it, Libra. But it's like, I feel like there are people where it's like when you're wrong, they're happy about it because they're like, oh, it gives them an excuse to not have to like level up to your level, almost, is what I'm getting here. It's almost like they're like, see, I knew they were wrong, and that means that I'm right, because I can just stay stuck where I am. So it's almost like you being wrong gives them permission to stay stuck. And, it's like there's something there for you. I'm not sure what that means for you, but I feel like for some of you, if you have a person or people like that in your life, that maybe it's time to put boundaries up against those people, or block them, or ban them, or whatever you need to do, because those people are not for you, And that's what I'd say here. And there could be, maybe you're making changes as well, and there are people who don't like it. So I'd pay attention to those things, because you're clearly moving towards success. With the Knight of Pentacles, you have the Temperance card. I feel like you need to pay attention to situations you can change, is what I'm getting here. Knight of Pentacles, a little stuck energy, right? Temperance is turning like a negative into a positive. You can also turn a positive into a negative with Temperance. But the thing with Temperance is transformation. It's like, can you turn a situation around? I think things are, the energy does seem to be very matter of fact right now. Like, it's very straightforward. It's like, if you do something and it works, then keep going. If not, then don't, then change, right? Make, kind of do an about face, or do something differently. And that's what I feel like you need to pay attention to here. With the Nine of Swords, you have the Eight of Pentacles. I kind of like this. Eight of Pentacles is material success on the horizon. And it's also a card of apprenticeship. So it's funny that I've been talking about learning. Again, I feel like some of you are trying to educate yourself on something. But again, I feel that's great. Keep educating yourself, but also put things into practice. Try something. With the Six of Wands, you have the Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands is quick success. So again, I feel this row is pretty simple as well. Some people had like 3 different signs or symbols. For you, I feel like it fits in very well with Mars retrograde. The Mars retrograde we have right now, to me, says that if things are flowing and moving forward, keep doing those things. The things that aren't moving forward and flowing, don't do those things, So I'd pay attention to your energy flow. Like, that's pretty much what I do. I always say I do 4 videos a day, no matter what, because that's like kind of my upper limit, doing like 30-minute videos now, 4 of them. But some days, like today, guess what? I've done like 7 videos because I feel motivated. I feel like I want to do it. I'm in the flow. So, I would be paying attention to that with the Eight of Wands. It's like most days I do 4, some days I do 20, right? It just depends on how I feel. But I think if you can set up a system like that in your life, you're going to have more flow. You're going to notice it. So that's what I would do there. Next, in the area of the unexpected, you have this community card. I feel there's just like a ton of support available to you. It doesn't really feel unexpected to me. I mean, kind of. Maybe you're just not really expecting it. But it's not like mind-blowingly unexpected is what I would say here, Libra. You have the Page of Pentacles, the Three of Swords, and the Queen of Cups in this row. I do feel that some of you could be kind of like healing from a heartbreak or separation. I don't really feel bad about this. It's almost like this is really a card of forgiveness, the Three of Swords. You have to remove those swords from your own heart. I kind of feel you getting over something, and maybe what's a little bit unexpected is how quickly you've been able to heal from a past loss or a past connection. So I do feel that energy for some of you, that you could be getting over like a past situation. You do have the Page of Pentacles here. This could be why. There could be a new person coming in for you for sure. Definitely could be an Aries. Aries really stands out to me, but it could be any sign. Take it how it resonates. And I feel like this person's, just really fun. I get a very lighthearted, playful energy, but very deep, like I said at the beginning of the reading, with that King of Cups. And here you go. You have the Queen of Cups. It's like you're the missing piece. King and Queen of Cups, divine counterparts, showing up in the reading. So if you're looking for love, definitely looks amazing. And like I said, is there really anything unexpected here? I'd say not really. I don't think it's like, again, it's not like shocking me here. I just think maybe you meet a person like through friends because you have that community card, or through socializing. So if you want love, definitely get out there. If you don't want love, by the way, this could be a new job offer with that Page of Pentacles. With the Page of Pentacles, you have the Five of Cups. You've definitely been disappointed in the past. I feel like we talked about this at the beginning of the reading. So there have been past disappointments. I feel like you need to look on the bright side. Again, the whole point of the Five of Cups is that there's something much better coming in for you. The guy is normally crying over the 3 cups in front of him. If he turns around, he sees the 2 cups. But as I always say, he doesn't just get the 2 cups. He gets the bridge and the castle that is also on the card. So he's also crying because he feels like he can't get to that castle. But if he turned around, he would see it. There's many more cups inside of that castle. There's much more of what he wants inside of that castle, right? But he just has to be grateful, and he just has to focus on what he does have, not on what he doesn't have. With the Three of Swords, you have the Queen of Wands. You always get the Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands says it's time for you to be bold, to be assertive, to really go for what you want. So I definitely feel it's time to be bold and assertive and go for what you want. Plain and simple. And with the Queen of Cups, you have the Emperor. Are you kidding me? Emperor twice in your reading. Definitely an Aries coming in for some of you. If it's not an Aries, I feel like this person's just a boss in life. I feel like they kind of, they just boss up, plain and simple. I get a very independent energy as well. That doesn't mean that they want to be alone, by the way. I think people misunderstand the whole independent thing. I think this person legitimately does not need anyone in their life. And those are the best people to be with. It's not that they don't need someone. They want someone, but they don't need it. So it's like not a needy person. We're going to pull 5 themes now. And you have this tulip card. It says great passion on it. So I feel you are developing passions in your life. Ace of Wands is like the most passionate card in the deck. And you have the Ace of Wands here. Everybody has had something about passions in their reading. I feel the universe is really pushing us to do more stuff that we enjoy just so we can create more fulfillment in the world. You have this elephant card. It says a long journey, either physical or mental, will leave you wiser at the end. I feel like you've been on a long journey. And again, you have a lot of signs and symbols of wisdom. The Hermit that's across the room right now. The Fool's going on a long journey. So if you're going on some sort of long journey or building something long term, it's going to leave you wiser at the end. You have this Bull card. It says, do not back down from opposition. Show strength and fortitude. We're talking about the Six of Wands here is what I feel for you. Again, I just get this feeling of like people like trying to prove you wrong or something like that. I would just completely ignore it. And, I would just know your strength. I would be comfortable in your own strength and know that when you're right and when you're wrong and, all that other stuff. I feel like you have nothing to prove here. You have this Hammock card. It says, take a vacation. I think we said something about this with the Two of Pentacles or somewhere around there in the reading. So I do feel like some of you need a break, especially if you're like doing a lot of mental work. I would make sure to balance it out, right? You have this Nest card. It says, an emotionally secure, loving family is important to you. So some of you could be creating this if you are attracting love in your life. So love it. We're also going to pull 6 of these random oracle cards just to see what else comes up for you. You have this card that says you will find your place in the world even when you don't know how. So I feel for some of you, this is like the journey you've been on, like discovering yourself. And I feel like it's coming to an end in a good way. You have this card that says explore the possibilities. We're talking about anything, we're talking about this Fool card again, I feel, here with exploring the possibilities. It's like, and also that card that says let your fears dissolve. That has a big ass moon on it, this card. Right here. Moons, to me, in like tarot and oracle cards, they kind of represent maybe something that you want to have in your life, like a goal, wish, or dream, but you need to like bring it down to earth. They kind of represent the fantasy, right? And so I feel like for some of you, you need to explore like a fantasy or an idea. You have this card that says you are on a journey, another journey card here of discovering your life purpose. So you could definitely be discovering your purpose in life, obviously. Next, you have this legal card that says dealings with legal issues or life lessons. Every single person has had some sort of legal card. I have no clue what's going on. This card also looks like justice. So you could be dealing with some like karmic lessons. This here says seek an expert, especially if you are handling legal matters. So obviously seek an expert. But it could also, I kind of feel like there could be some karmic debt that is being paid here. You have this media, but again, it feels like to you, which is a good thing. You have this media card that says, get more publicity to increase your finances. I keep telling everyone that, really the answer to the next 10 years is to get as much attention as you possibly can. Whether you like it or not, we are definitely in an attention economy, even in love, right? If you want love, you have to get attention. So, I would definitely be getting as much attention as you possibly can. You have this patience card. It says it will require you to have faith while you're shown the way. So I feel like you've been very patient. Again, the Hermit really tells me that you're standing at the top of a mountain and you've probably been going through it. So I feel like you have been patient. Pretty good reading here, Libra. So thank you for being here, Libra. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your Sun, Moon, and Rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you and definitely enjoy your week.